Welcome back to the channel, team, and episode 28 of the Clean Suite. Today we've got another job walk round for you guys. We are in a cold store warehouse in Marden in Kent, and we have got to clean all the walls and the ceiling in this entire building. So let's jump in to episode 28 of the Clean Suite. So this particular client approached us as they have a cold store area where they keep fruit before it goes in transit. The reason they wanted this job done is they've got an audit coming up the back end of this year, and as with all businesses that outsource any aspect of their cleaning, their staff are better placed working in the factory and cold store doing revenue generating tasks than they are cleaning the walls. They don't have the expertise, they don't have the equipment, so he approached us and said, look, can you get a team of guys in over a couple of nights to get the walls nice and clean? Now you can see how dirty they are from the wall that's next to me. What the guys will do, they'll use a food safe chemical mixed with water, and they will wipe down a lot of the areas. The reason they wipe them down as opposed to using some form of machinery is because dotted around all the walls are various electrical points, and we have had on a job before, a little bit of an inside story, where we have blown the electrics for a manufacturing warehouse where they need to scan items in and out, and it caused a big headache. So we need to be very careful around electrical items. So the boys, as I say, they'll use a food safe product because they store food here, and they'll wipe down all these walls so they're nice and white like you can see here. So this particular job, we're going to use a two-pronged approach. So areas where we don't have any electrical items on the wall, which is not a lot unfortunately, we will use a reach and wash method so we can wash the wall down, and the guys will use a wet extraction to collect any debris and water that then goes on the floor. The second method, unfortunately for these guys, is going to be a hand method because, as I mentioned in my earlier talking piece, we don't want to damage or blow any of the electrics. So we've got to do the ceiling. That is the most time-consuming task, especially at the back end where they have cold fans, because as them fans kick up, they kick lots of dust and debris up onto the ceiling. So the boys are wiping that at the moment. The first task they will need to do is get the ceiling done. Once they've got the ceiling done, they've broke the back out of the job, and then they can focus on the walls, and we can use the reach and wash method for that, and that will make life a lot easier for them. So the number one task for today, first night, is to get the ceiling done. So as you can see on the wall, we've got a white rock wall, and this black dust that you see, the shutters behind, they have lorries, articulate lorries that reverse into here. These shutters are usually open, so there's lots of diesel fumes coming in and out. They've got forklifts whizzing around. I know they're electric, but they're still kicking up dust from the floor. And businesses just unfortunately don't have the time or don't give the focus to cleaning. They let it slip, and then you get to a situation like they are here where they've then got to call a specialist in because it's got so bad. So it's better to do planned preventive maintenance and have a regular contractor come in and keep on top of these areas, and that's what we're planning to do here on a monthly basis. So the guys will come in, they will do all the low levels so that they can keep on top of it and then not have such a big expense because they've got to have 3 nights of 5 guys spending their time here, access equipment to clean everything. So it's better to have it done little and often than have to have one big bang, and the inconvenience of having to pay someone to sit with us for security and move everything out of the way. So say little and often is sometimes the better option. So at JCD, we've got a vast amount of experience in specialist services, which this is one of. We carry out deep cleans to warehouses that are the similar size to JCD HQ, to warehouses that are 3-4 times the size of this. Each client's needs is 100% bespoke. That's a little bit of a cliche to say, but it's true. Some customers, when we go there, they say to us, well, Chris, I want you to take a bit of a pragmatic approach, and from the bottom, what you can see, if someone was looking in this premises, so all the cobwebs, etc., take down. Some clients, like this particular client here, they've got to a stage where they need literally pretty much every square inch of wall, ceiling and floor in this box cleaned. You know, so it's horses for courses in terms of that, but what I say, we've managed small projects that are a little bit more proactive to massive warehouse projects where we've got to wipe down literally every square inch of the premises. So for any of you cleaning business owners out there, or that you're looking to start a cleaning business, or indeed you're a customer and want to look for what cleaning companies look for, what are the plus and minuses of doing warehouse cleans? Well, the positive side of them is you get good job satisfaction from them. As you can see, there's a clear substantial difference from a clean area to a dirty area, so that's really good to see, and these jobs can be quite rewarding when you get them across the line. It's also good to make a big impact on a site, so when the customer comes in tomorrow, the hope will be that the staff that use this area on a day-to-day basis will come in and see a substantial difference in the level of cleanliness on the walls and ceiling. That's what we hope. Some of the negative sides of this is logistics, so you are heavily reliant on a customer making sure that this area is clear. Sometimes you'll turn up to jobs and there'll still be pallets left around that you've then got to manoeuvre around, or you can't work in a methodical manner. You're heavily reliant on the customer making sure that they've cleaned the area, and sometimes you get there and it's not. There are other downsides, like you might have to work around warehouse staff, which we've had to do on occasions, so they're whizzing around on forklifts whilst you're trying to clean, and that can be difficult to manage. But as long as you manage your clients' expectations, these warehouse cleans are ultra rewarding, ultra fun, and they give fantastic results, and they can earn you good money as well if they're done right and done on time. So the guys, they've got a couple of days on this job, nights unfortunately for these guys, but that wraps up episode 28. Again, I hope you found this video useful and informative and a little bit enjoyable. As always, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for us, and we'll catch you in episode 29.